to be showing some things on the TV. But I just want to welcome you all for being here today. And we did, I'm going to grab my notes so I don't forget anything. We did try to invite today a lot of economic development and people that are very interested in seeing their communities grow. So I do want to thank the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance for being here today. We have the Gowrie Development Commission. We have a lot of our small communities are represented today. Of course, we have our employees and our board of directors. I do have to say Daryl Carlson would be here today. However, he had to leave this morning for Michigan because he found out he was a grandfather again this morning. So he came in this morning and said, I can't be here. And so I'm sure he is still on the road. It's a 10-hour drive for him to get to his daughter's house. So he was, had some very happy news this morning. So otherwise he would be here as well. So just to kind of start, I want to kind of do talk a little bit about what the Smart Rural Community is before we actually get to the ribbon cutting ceremonies. But if you'll notice, we have a fishing theme here. As a cooperative, we're going to be having our annual meeting of members on March 20th, and our theme is Hooked on Technology. As a cooperative, our very first priority is the service to our members. And in doing so, how we got to the point of being a smart rural community is the board of directors basically made that choice to invest over $20 million over several years into our communities. And we serve 16 communities. That is 715 square miles. That touches 5 counties. That serves about 2,700 internet customers. That serves about 1,600 TV subscribers and about 3,500 telephone subscribers. Now you might be thinking, okay, we're a landline telephone company, that's on the decline, and you're absolutely right. But we also service 14 cellular towers. And I do want to kind of make the point that the mobility relies on those towers for that traffic to be transported has a lot to do with that fiber that's in the ground as well. So I kind of wanted everybody to just kind of know the scope of where Webster-Calhoun and the commitment that it's made to this area. So getting back to our fishing theme, the way I look at it is with Webster-Calhoun, we're kind of, you know, a best kept secret. You know, the locals know about us. So we're like that secret fishing hole where everybody around here knows about it, but not so much outside that area. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to apply for the Smart Rural Community, because I felt that would be a very nice opportunity for us to be able to tell that story and get the news out about, you know, what we're doing in this area and the technology that, you know, rural doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have some of those opportunities. So from the economic development perspective, we wanted to be able to share that. So Webster-Calhoun is part of a national association called NTCA, the Rural Broadband Company, and they are located in Washington, D.C., and they are an advocate for our industry in that area and nationwide. And through them, we originally applied for and received the gig certification, which basically means with that investment that we made into the fiber into the ground, we are a gig capable provider. That means that anybody in our service area, everyone has fiber to their home, to their premise. And each one of those people, or homes, or businesses, has the ability to have gig service. If you're not familiar with the term of what gigabit service is, it's really, really, really fast internet. We do have one customer that is currently on our gig service. So we feel like by doing this makes it available for us to be kind of ahead of the curve as the demand grows for that. So we are one of about 130 companies nationwide that are gig certified with that designation, and that is specific to the infrastructure. So then the next thing that we wanted to do was apply for the Smart Rural Community. Last fall, we became one of 56 companies nationwide to have the designation of the Smart Rural Community. That's not only the technology, but how it's being used. So it's the idea that we tell NTCA, we basically applied for this award by telling NTCA some of the stories of our community, how we use it here. And then they're able to use that in Washington for success stories for rural broadband. And then what I'm hoping to do is to be able to bring this back. We can utilize that smart rural community and make sure that people around here know about that as well. And share those stories for economic growth and things like that. So a couple of the things that I keep in mind with that is, for example, Gowrie, one of the things that they're looking at is their housing development. Badger has a housing development that could directly impact, how they're promoting that as well. The Growth Alliance and Crossroads of Global Innovation is located in Webster-Calhoun serving area. So anybody that goes in that ag park out there has access to gig service. So it's something that really affects, I guess, the region as well. So internet access is so common, it seems like, that it's hard to describe how important it is until you don't have it. Then you realize how important it is. So to summarize kind of what we've done with that, I'm going to show a short video that we provided along with our application. And I do want to recognize some of the people that helped us put this video together. Spin Market helped us put the video together. We have Heartland Bank, the Drill Barbershop, Community Pharmacy, which is part of Stewart Memorial Community Hospital, Southeast Valley High School, and Carlson Family Farms helped us by allowing us to interview them and tell their stories. So I'm going to let that speak for itself. So.
WCCTA is a rural independent telecommunications provider for the 16 exchanges that we serve, rural and urban. We've been, in the business a long time providing communication services. We plowed a tremendous amount of fiber out into those rural areas and have, tried to build the backbone and from a network perspective and give the customers out there broadband capabilities. It's a very solid network and has very little downtime. Living in Webster WCCTA's service area, you have a full gig capability. It's something that we're very proud of.
So the great thing about community banking is, in small rural areas, is everybody knows everybody. We have that relationship banking that we think sets us apart from the larger regional banks. We consider WCCTA to be a very valuable partner, and we've had a very long relationship with them. It's essential to have reliable services up and running all the time, and the majority of our transactions and from our customers is all done via the internet, so it's an extremely critical part of our business model.
Because we're so intertwined with the broadband here on our operation, and without the local support of the great company of WCCTA that provides our internet access, without them we wouldn't be able to function with what we do. We buy and sell products on the internet. I've bought cattle from 80 miles away, sitting at home on the internet, buying at an auction.
You check the markets, hog prices, cattle prices. All of that stuff is important, and if you don't have the broadband, you might be missing out on opportunities when to sell.
I can keep track of more of what I'm doing nowadays. It keeps me more intertwined with how the markets are going, and keeping connected with different people, like different agronomists or buyers and sellers for hogs or cattle.
So we're able to offer up more college opportunities for students so they can take FlexNet classes online through Iowa Central. WCCTA also supports our ICN system, which is a Polycom system through Iowa Central as well. Through one-to-one computers, through being able to give kids that experience, they're able to definitely be prepared for what they're going to face in college and the business world or the career world. It's not just the college bound, it's every kid has to face that. So that broadband that we receive from WCCTA is priceless.
WCCTA allows us to provide all of our services to our patients in this community to ensure health and safety on a daily basis. We also use it not only to process our prescriptions and receive the prescriptions from doctors that could be across the United States, but we also use it as we're verifying prescriptions and checking accuracy to determine whether there's any drug interactions. Now with technology, we can receive a prescription from a doctor while the patient is still at the doctor's office. We can process that prescription, ensure patient safety, all through the use of broadband, and have the medication ready for them before they even enter our pharmacy, which is really great.
I took the old school feel and added a touch of modern element to it using internet. By booking an appointment on my website, it allows them to know exactly when they can come in and just walk right in. The cool thing about broadband offered by WCCTA is it just allows me to keep all my appointments and be able to reach all my customers kind of whenever and wherever I am.
And those are just short snippets of ways that they use it, and the more we got to researching how they utilize these services, there's so much more to that story. One of the things that Phil had talked about, or made me think of that, is when he came into the area, a majority of his marketing was done online. And then of course he takes payments over online, things like that. So there's so much more to the story that goes along with that. So basically that's kind of what I wanted to go through real quick today. What we're going to do now is go ahead and we've got ribbon cuttings with both the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance and the Gowrie Development Commission. And along with this, so now when you're driving through one of our 16 communities and you see this sign, you're going to know what that means. And so each one of our 16 communities is going to be receiving one of these street signs that they'll be able to display with the community. So again, thank you very much for joining us today, and I guess we'll take the
Well, I know from the Growth Alliance, we want to thank Marcy and Gowrie for everything that you do for these communities. And as a person that came from the telecom industry in both the sales and the operation, I know how difficult it is to plow $20 million with fiber. If anybody thinks that all it is just taking a trench and sticking it in the ground, there's a lot more behind it than that. And it's a lot of work. And it's really exciting to have Webster-Calhoun be not only a broadband provider in our community, but to have the resources that they can market it to everybody, these businesses that come in, to be able to offer that what we need. So congratulations, and we're thrilled to be here today. Now you want to give to the different.
We'll go ahead and take some photos with the individual communities. I know we have Gowrie, we have Vincent here today, we have Farnhamville and Summers, so we can definitely take some photos with that. And then everyone else, if you want to enjoy some refreshments over here. For those of you that know me well, you're gonna understand the table, because it's Smart Rural Community, so I have Smart Water, I have Nerds, Smarties, and Chips, Bits, and Bites. So yeah, so help yourself and enjoy.